So, in dressing for the weather, you want to think about your first W of the three W's, wicking. So, this shirt is a wicking fabric. It's very lightweight and it wicks the sweat away from your skin. While we're here, I want to talk about the importance of good footwear. So, you want to have nice, thick socks that are dry. You might, if it's going to be a wet day, you might want to pack an extra pair of dry socks. Now, if you're going to take a long hike, these boots are my hiking boots, and they're very substantial and sturdy. They support my ankles very well, and they're also waterproof. But if I'm just going on a hike in town or on pavement, I'll wear some good hiking socks and just my regular tennis shoes. The second W of dressing for the weather is warmth. I like fleece for warmth. It's fairly lightweight. It's thick and it just is very insulating. So I would first wear my wicking shirt, and then I would, if it's cold, I'm going to put that second W layer of warmth. The third thing is for waterproof or windproof. So I have this nice thin nylon jacket. It's very, very thin, easy to pack in my bag, doesn't take up a lot of room. But if it's just a little bit chilly, I can throw it on for warmth. Or if it starts to rain, it's going to protect me from the wetness, and it will also protect me from wind. Now, I usually take with me my favorite lightweight packing bag is just a drawstring bag. I like this one a lot because it's very lightweight. And things I'm going to put in there, I'm going to start with the things that are most important. So, a hat or some kind of head covering. So I'm a Girl Scout, and Girl Scouts are into swaps, so that's what all this goofy stuff is. But that's one of my favorite hiking hats because it has a brim, so if it's raining a little bit, I wear glasses, and that way they don't get spotted. If you don't want to wear or carry a hat or a cap of some sort, a bandana is also very good. I like this one because it shows me how to tie different knots in case I need that. So a bandana has a lot of uses. One thing that's very important is a water bottle. Now, this one is an insulating one. So if it's going to be really hot out and I want to make sure I have a cool drink, I'll take an insulated bottle. This one also does not spill. It also can hang on a D-ring or something. But this water bottle is really handy because it fills, but then as you empty it, it goes flat and it doesn't have any weight to it. So I might take that one filled as my first water bottle and drink this first because it's not insulated, and then I might have that water bottle as well. So the next thing that's important would be sunscreen. If it's going to be sunny out, you need to protect yourself because especially if you're not used to being outside. I always take hand sanitizer with me. And I'm not a big fan of bug spray, but if I'm going somewhere where there's some kind of a bug pest, I might use that. The next thing in dressing for the weather, this is another option to that lightweight jacket. You can pack a packable poncho. This one actually probably takes up more room than that jacket, but it also covers more because it goes clear down to my knees. Anytime I'm hiking in the woods or somewhere remote, I always want to take a whistle with me because if you get lost, then what you do is you stay put and you blow that whistle. Or if you're injured, you stay put and blow that whistle and someone will find you. Speaking of injuries, I always take a small first aid kit. Don't worry about that name there. So I take a first aid kit, and that way I've got Band-Aids if I get a blister or if I get caught on a thorn or something. And then I always take a notepad and a pen or pencil. You never know what you're going to want to write down. You saw a cool bird, or you want to draw a flower because you didn't bring your phone or your camera and you want to remember what it was. So that's always something that I like to have with me. This is called a sit-upon. It folds up really small, but it's something that's waterproof that I can, if I want to sit down and take a rest and the ground is damp and I don't want to get wet when I sit, then I'll sit on top of that. So those are my basic things that I take. The other last basic would be I always bring tissues. I have allergies, so I always bring tissues, and I always bring something that I can dispose of those tissues in so that I can pack in and pack out. Everything that I take with me comes back out with me. Some optional things. You might want to take a pocket knife. You never know when you might need to use a knife for some reason. A compass is always good. This is my waterproof matches, and this is just a fire starter, which is wax paper with some wax shavings in there. A D-ring always comes in handy. You know, if like I said, that water bottle had you could hang it, you could use that for that. Lip balm is always a good thing to have out in the woods because you do breathe with your mouth open a lot, your lips get dry. I sometimes, if I'm going on a long hike, will take a mirror. This one's in a padded case. And not because I want to look at myself, but because it reflects the light. And so if I'm lost or injured, I can send some signals that way. This is just a neat little card that talks about leaving no trace, and we've already talked about that. Whatever you pack in, you take out. You don't leave any trace. I'm a bird watcher. I love to look at the birds and other animals too, so I have a small, inexpensive, lightweight set of binoculars, but a phone and your zoom can work wonders. A headlamp or a flashlight, if there's any possibility that you're going to get out late and be out after dark. And the last thing that I like to pack, but they do add weight to your bag, is field guides. So if I'm going to look for birds, I'll probably take this one along. If I'm going to look for plants or trees or animals or anything, this one is a wonderful resource. So those are just some things that I take with me when I go on a hike. And I hope that you find a wonderful place to hike and have a good time on National Trails Day, the first Saturday of June every year. Bye.